Hey there, second grade. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back for another remote learning math lesson with Mr. Enzi. So, today we are going to be moving on to grade 2, lesson 7.5, and it's called Measuring with Meters. And you're going to be working on Math Journal, page 175. And today we're going to do only number 2. So the other day we did number 1 because we were talking about yards. And we said that we could stretch our arms out, and a yard is about fingertip to fingertip for a second grader. Well, today we're not going to be looking at yards and inches anymore. We're going to be looking at what's called the metric system. Now, the metric system is used in most places in the world. In the United States, we use inches, feet, and yards. But everywhere else, they use what's called the metric system. So today we're going to take a little bit of a look at what makes up the metric system. There's three big units that we're going to work on today. The first one is the centimeter. And a centimeter is abbreviated with the letters cm. Earlier in the year, we used our rulers to measure with centimeters. We're also going to take a look at something called a decimeter. And that's abbreviated with dm. Decimeter. And then we're going to take a look at a meter, which is abbreviated just with the letter M. So let's go ahead and get started. So to review, centimeters, a centimeter is about the width of your pinky. So if you hold up your pinky, the width of your pinky is about 1 centimeter. So if I wanted to see if some things were 1 centimeter long and I didn't have a ruler, I could use my pinky to go around and try to measure some things. Now, here are some things that are a centimeter long. Your eraser on the top of a pencil, that is about a centimeter wide. If you remember when we were in school, we would use the little cubes. Those cubes, we use some, I think, yellow and blue cubes. They're a centimeter wide. And also your fingernail. If you take a look at how wide your fingernail is about a centimeter. A centimeter is pretty small, and they're used to measure small objects. Now, you may remember that we were measuring with centimeters earlier in the year. So I have a crayon. And now with my crayon, it starts at the 0 mark. And I want you to look at my ruler, which is a centimeter ruler, and tell me how long is my orange crayon. Oh, look real carefully, see how far that tip goes to. And hopefully you said 8 centimeters. Awesome job. So my orange crayon is 8 centimeters long. Now, you do know that Mr. Enzi loves to trick you. So I'm going to trick all of you right now. All right. I'm going to take my orange crayon. And, how long is my orange crayon now? Oh, all right, I'll give you a little bit of time to look. And, I hope you didn't say 10, because my crayon did not grow. My crayon before was 8 centimeters. It is still 8 centimeters. It starts at the 2 and it stops at the 10. So 2 plus 8 gets me to the 10. So my crayon is still 8 centimeters. It's still 8 centimeters. It's still 8 centimeters. So hopefully I did not trick you. Now, one thing I want to remind everybody is that My crayon may be 8 centimeters, but my crayon is not 8 inches. If you look at our inch ruler, our crayon is only how many inches? Think, look, and say it. You're right. It's 3 inches long. Our inches are spaced out wider than our centimeters are. So keep that in mind. All right, now, after the centimeters, we come to something called a decimeter. Now, a decimeter is made up of 10 centimeters. The letters DEC, that prefix means 10, like a decade is 10 years. A decagon is a polygon with 10 sides. And a decimeter is made up of 10 centimeters. So I have a picture of what 1 decimeter would look like, 10 centimeters. And it is about the width of our palm. So just like 1 pinky is a centimeter, the width of our palm is about 1 decimeter. So if I didn't have a ruler at home, I could go around to my house and try and find some items that might be 1 decimeter long. Our final unit of measurement is called the meter, and we use an M to abbreviate it. Now, a meter is made up of 100 centimeters. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Now, you remember, this was our yardstick. Now, my yardstick was made up of inches. My tape measure that I have at home is made up of inches and centimeters. So I'm going to take it to the 100 centimeter mark. I'm going to see if I can see. Oh, I found it. And I want to show you this. See, this is 100 centimeters. It's also almost the same size as my yard, but I want to show you the difference. I'm going to put them both on the floor, and you can see that my 100 meters is a little bit bigger than a yard. 1 meter is bigger than a yard. So 100 centimeters is bigger than that yard. They're pretty close, but the meter is bigger than the yard. So a meter stick would be a little bit taller than that yard stick. That's how we would be able to tell the difference. It's one of the ways. Okay? All right. So let's see. A 1 meter is about the height of a kitchen counter. So if I went from the floor to the top of the kitchen counter, that's about 1 meter high. Also, a doorknob. If I go from the floor to my doorknob, that's also about 1 meter high. And for a second grader, again, if you didn't have a ruler at home or a meter stick or a tape measure, you could use your arms and stretch them out. And that arm span for a second grader is close to a meter. Okay? And then here's a little picture showing you the difference. Our meter stick goes up to 100 centimeters. The yardstick goes up to 36 inches. And you can see that my meter stick is a little bit bigger. All right, my friends, let's do a little review and see how we can do on this. Now, all of these questions are going to be the same. Which unit would I use to measure? And you're going to have 2 choices. You're going to have a centimeter or meter. Remember, centimeters are used to measure little things. Meters are used to measure big things. So which unit would I use to measure the height of a Lego minifigure? Would I use centimeters or would I use a meter? What do you think on that one? All right, if Mom's in the room, you might want to give her the answer. And hopefully you picked centimeters. Minifigures are not very big. How about the length of a school bus? Oh, what would I use to measure a school bus? Would I use centimeters or would I use meters? Well, hopefully you said meters. The centimeters are just too small to measure a big object like a school bus. How about the length of a pencil? Would I measure my pencil in centimeters or would I measure it in meters? What do you think? Well, I'm going to measure my pencil using centimeters. Pencil is not that big. It's not even going to be as big as a meter. And our last one, what if I wanted to measure the length of a school hallway? Wow. Would I use a centimeter or would I use a meter? Hopefully you guessed meter. The hallway is so long that we're going to use a bigger unit of measurement. All right, my second grade mathematicians, here's your job. In your math journal, on page 175, you're going to do problem number 2 only. Now, the other day we did problem number 1 on inches, feet, and yards. Well, today we're going to be looking for some objects using different units of measure. Let's see what the directions say. Find things that are about 1 centimeter long, about 10 centimeters long, and about 1 meter long. Use a ruler, a tape measure, or a meter stick to help you. List them below. You can use these as your personal references to help you estimate lengths. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to look around your house for some objects that might be 1 centimeter long, and then you're going to list those objects. Try and find 5 different objects. Remember, if you don't have a centimeter ruler at home, you can use your pinky. If I had a centimeter ruler at home, I'm probably going to go ahead and use my ruler. Then I'm going to look for something that is about 10 centimeters long. Remember, that's a decimeter. If I don't have a centimeter ruler at home that goes up to 10 centimeters, remember, you can use the width of your palm. And then finally, we're going to look for some objects that measure about 1 meter, and then we're going to list them. If you don't have a meter stick at home, you could think of use a yardstick, but just remember it's a little bit bigger than a yard, or you can stretch out your arm span and use that to estimate the length. All right, you can do this work in your journal, or you can do this work right on Seesaw. All right, my friends, get busy doing math. We'll see everybody soon. Have a great day.